Good morning, everyone. Distinguished guests, esteemed ministers, Your Excellency, Dr. Rania, Dr. Ashraf, Siyat Liwa, and fellow attendees. I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Sir Mohamed for introducing me to this exceptional gathering. I'm deeply honored to share the story of Right to Dream Egypt, an organization that has made a profound impact on the lives of many in Egypt. I'm grateful for the platform to highlight the mission and achievements and the opportunity to inspire others. Once again, thank you, Sir Mohamed, for the introduction, and thank you everyone here for your attention and your interest in Right to Dream. I'll begin with this picture. It's actually one of my favorite pictures because it depicts who we really are. It's part of our core values, which is diversity. In this picture, you'll see boys and girls from all different locations of our Right to Dream Academy. As you see here, those are all the locations we're in, which started in Ghana in 1999, and then FCN, which is a Superliga club and an academy in Denmark. And the latest edition was in 2021, Right to Dream Egypt, and our club FC Masar, and later on was San Diego FC. And part of our pathways is also on the East Coast, where we provide educational scholarships, as you see, which we have about 13 partner schools on the East Coast. This is basically our mission. It's to create opportunities on and off a pitch. And it's something that we aspire in all of our locations, and specifically in Egypt with our team here. It's something that we fight for. It's something that we all work with a purpose towards. This is basically our connected mission, and those are our community clubs. As you see, San Diego FC, FC Masar in Egypt, FCN in Denmark, and then our academies, and that's where we develop all of our players, boys and girls. We do it in 3 ways, where we partner with the talent, and then we nurture the talent in our academies, and then we connect the talent with all of our pathways that we have created, whether pro football or on the educational side. This diagram basically depicts everything. We start scouting, and that's part of how we partner with the talent. And if you look at the number at the top right corner, globally, we scout about 150,000 boys and girls every year, and that's where we find excellence. The student athlete comes in at age between 10 and 11, boys or girls, and when we develop them in our academy, and we have a special way of developing our players. It's a holistic approach where we focus on elite football trainings and education and character development. We want those kids to be ready beyond the age of 18, wherever they go, either on an educational pathway or on a pro football pathway. And this is how we do it in all of our academies. The 2 pathways that we normally connect our students with, one, which is the education pathway, which is with our partner schools on the East Coast in the US. They go to boarding school for high school, and then beyond that point, they get scholarships in some of the top universities around the world. Beyond universities, if they're still doing well in football, then they can get drafted into MLS. And just like Sir Mohamed mentioned, Husseini Buda is an example of that, which I'll show you later. If not, they will always get an opportunity to be part of the Mansour Group, and the Mansour Group is in 100 countries with 60,000 employees, so they will get an opportunity somewhere. But for our Egyptians, I think it's always best for them to come back to Egypt and always give back to their communities, because this is something that will improve and enhance our ecosystem. On the pro football pathway, our top players between the ages 16 and 18 join a program called International Academy. The International Academy consists of players from Egypt, from Denmark, from Ghana, and from the US. And they travel together in all of our locations, in Egypt, in Ghana, in Denmark, and in the US. Sometimes they do some camps in Spain, in La Manga, and the reason why is because they need to get some of the best opponents so that they can develop even at a faster pace, because at 18, that's when they join and connect with one of our 3 clubs, either Denmark with FCN or San Diego FC and FC Masar in Egypt. And beyond that point, they get sold to some of the top European clubs. And we always make sure when we scout the players, we know that they can play at the highest level, which is basically the Champions League football, European Champions League football. Just like Sir Mohamed mentioned, we've had 157 graduates that have continued to play in pro football. One of the biggest names is Mohamed Kudus, who plays for West Ham today. He joined the Right to Dream Academy in Ghana at age 11, got developed, connected, and signed with our club in Denmark, FCN, and got sold to Ajax Amsterdam for 9 million euros. Beyond that point, he stayed for a couple of years, got sold to West Ham for 40 million pounds. And the way we do it is most of our players that get sold from our clubs, we always have a sell-on clause, and the money gets back into the system so that we can create more and more opportunities. At the moment, we have about 7 players in the Premier League today. Players that are at Brighton, at Man United, at West Ham. And it's also very important to mention, in the last edition of the World Cup in 2022, we had 7 graduates playing in the World Cup at the highest, at the world stage, in Ghana, from the Ghanaian national team and the Danish national team. And our aspiration is that in 2030 and 2034, we will have our graduates part of the Egyptian national team. And I have this belief that if we do things right, we can win the World Cup. And people might laugh and look at me and say, you must be crazy. But actually, if you look at the last World Cup, Morocco reached the semi-final, but because they prepared and they've done a good job, and they had a plan for 7-8 years. And this is what we did in Egypt. When we started in 2021, we had a plan, we have a plan, we're on track, and we believe that we could help the Egyptian national team. We could win the World Cup at some point. The other part that brings joy to me as well is the opportunities that create for the student athletes and students that are doing well in education, and we feel that they have a better future down that route. And they get the opportunity to study in the US, in high schools, in a boarding school. And then beyond that point, they get scholarships in some of the top universities, Ivy League schools in the US. And an example that Sir Mohamed had mentioned is Hosseini Bouda from Burkina Faso. He came into the academy, he only spoke French, ended up learning English, went to a top high school in the US, graduated from Stanford, and today he got drafted into the MLS with the San Jose Earthquakes. And he currently plays for the national team. Not everyone will end up playing football, but there will be others that join other big companies and corporations in the US and in Egypt and other places as well. This, for me, it's a milestone and also very personal to me. And I think Sir Mohamed had mentioned this started in 2016 when Lutfi, his son, had visited Right to Dream Ghana. And I know that they've always wanted to invest in football. but they wanted to invest in football with purpose, something that made sense, something that had an impact on communities, something that they could change the lives of many through the lens of football. And when I started actually I started in 2020 when I got a call from Lutfi, and he asked me, would you be interested in being part of this project? And I said, I'm all in. I didn't even hesitate. I began with doing my own research all over Egypt, traveling the country, from Alexandria to Aswan, doing the right research to see how I would roll it out in 2021 if the deal would go through. And alhamdulillah, it did go through, and the rest was history. And I'll get into more.
عشان انا عارف ان ورايه التدريب هتنجح في مصر، وربنا يوفقنا ان احنا نقدر ننمي مش بس الكوره والتعليم، وندي فرص للشباب في مصر.
If you build around the sport that can unite people, you can definitely make an impact and change the world.
For me, it happened in 3 stages, which was the rollout. And I think the most important part of this rollout was to have a great team on the ground. We have about 15 regional organizers that cover a network of 23 governorates within Egypt. And this is where we do all of our scouting. They go into the villages, we go into very, very deep areas, underprivileged areas, because we believe that excellence can be found anywhere. And we've done this in 2021. I personally was on those trips. I spent 70 days on the road. And I went into every village. We went into the homes of all of the families. And we had to do more research, understand more, see how these people are living. And part of the joy I had was I got to see my country. And I figured how beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Egypt is. And it's something that I'm so passionate about. And I believe there's so much potential in this country just by traveling the country and seeing all the people in the different areas, the villages and the towns. And the one thing that caught my attention was hope. Everyone had a smile on their face, even those that were less privileged, but they always smiled. And it's something that I learned and I took back to Cairo. For me, it's a bit different. This was lots of family visits, and the second part was the setup, and we started in a temporary facility in Gezira Youth Center in Zamalek. And we set up, we had our teachers, we had our coaches, and once things got stable, we were able to endeavor into other opportunities, which was to begin with having our pro club in Egypt. FC Masar joins Right to Dream Academy in 2022, and it's part of what we do is we create pathways, and hence the word Masar, it's part of our identity. We create pathways, and this club is very dear to us because we started from scratch. We had a men's team at the bottom of the pyramid in terms of the league, and our women's team were getting promoted to the Premier League, and we had a 7-year plan for our women's team. 2023 was a great year because this is where we inaugurated our facility. It was being built, it got built in 1 year from August 2022 until October 2023. Badia is the home of our academy and also our pro club. As you see, these are pictures of our state-of-the-art facility. It consists of 2 natural grass pitches, 1 artificial pitch, a small hotel that has 30 double rooms, our dorms for the boys, for the girls, a licensed school from the Ministry of Education. And we provide the national curriculum in English because we believe in the Egyptian curriculum. And we've also got a recreational area for our staff and our students. 2023 was a significant year because that's when FC Masar as well won the Egyptian Cup. '24 was a year of growth, and this is where our students got to travel and go to different locations and exchange cultures and learnings. This is a map of Egypt, all of our students and where they're from, all the locations, 53 boys and 19 girls. Most importantly, and this is, I think, something that I'd like to touch on, our first graduates. We have 2 boys, one from Suez and one from Minya, currently in the US in Connecticut now in a boarding school. And we have 2 of our other boys, Marwan and Mohamed Abdel Nasser, in our International Academy program, currently traveling the world, playing football, and hopefully in a couple of years when they're 18, they sign for some of our clubs. And these are pictures, and this is the transformation of our boys when they came into the academy and where they are now. 2024 again for FC Masar was great because we got back-to-back promotion for our men's team, and our women's team were able to win the league and the cup, so we did the double, and it's something that we will continue to progress in. FC Masar, by winning the league, they played in the CAF Champions League, and this is the first continental medal in the history of Egyptian women's football. It's something very special to us.
They say the women's game is changing. I try to dream, we don't just hear it. We see it every day. In our academies, in our clubs, across our community. In young girls getting equal opportunities to chase their dreams. And in women forging their own paths and setting new standards. We see it on the pitch, in the classroom, in the moments our girls and women break through and show their true potential. But the real change, it's in the opportunities opening, the pathways expanding, and in the impact rippling forward into new dreams, new opportunities, new futures being built right now. So when they say the women's game is changing, I try to dream, it already has.
I'll just end it with one comment. And I want to say that our promise to you, Sir Mohamed, is that we will continue to create opportunities and impact communities for our beloved Egypt.